Just days ago, the FBI launched an unprecedented publicity campaign to bring him to justice once and for all. And late last night, well, it paid off. Michele McPhee is an investigative journalist and author of several best-selling crime books, including A Mob Story, and I'm delighted to say that she joins us now. Good afternoon, Michele.
Good afternoon. Thanks for having me. For
our viewers not living in the Boston area, explain why this capture is so significant. How serious a criminal was this man?
Well, Whitey Bulger was the boss of the Winter Hill crime family here in Boston, but more importantly, he was a longtime FBI informant, which of course didn't come to light until after an FBI agent tipped him off to his impending indictment, and he went on the lam in late 1994. And Bostonians, not only is this about a gangster from the hardscrabble neighborhood of South Boston, this is about a terrible time in the FBI's history. And the FBI here in Massachusetts has been forever tarnished by the hunt for Whitey Bulger, which we in Boston always say, the hunt for Whitey Bulger, with an eye roll, for very good reason. You know, he's been missing for a very long time. He was tipped off by the FBI. He worked for the FBI, and there are a lot of people here that are still suspicious about the circumstances surrounding his capture yesterday in Los Angeles.
Well, at least he has been captured. What is the extent of his criminality? How many people is he alleged to have killed himself?
Well, today I spoke to the daughter of Walter Bennett, one of 19 victims that Whitey Bulger is accused of murdering. Walter Bennett left behind 13 children, and these are the true victims of Whitey Bulger's reign of terror here in Boston. He had a real stronghold on the drug trafficking trade. He had a stronghold on some of the rackets. He was the master of robbing bookies and drug dealers, and he had sort of an open rein to commit these heinous acts because he had been working as an FBI informant to take down the Italian mafia in the Boston area. So he got a pass, and that pass afforded him the luxury of committing any crime short of murder, as the FBI has stated in open court. But we know that he didn't heed that warning from his handlers in that agency.
Now, he was for a long time #2 on the FBI's most wanted list. I'm not being facetious. How come we captured Osama bin Laden quicker than we captured Whitey Bulger? How did he manage to stay free for so long?
Well, that is the question that is forefront in the minds of many Bostonians. I mean, now you find out that Whitey Bulger, with hundreds of thousands of dollars, and that's what they found in his apartment during his arrest yesterday, along with 20 guns, you know, rifles and handguns. Here's a guy who had that much money, but he was hiding essentially in plain sight in Santa Monica, California for the last 15 years. You know, it's emerged now that he paid cash for a rent-stabilized apartment that cost him, I think, you know, $1,500 a month, and he paid up front in cash. For 15 years he has been living pretty much in plain sight. You know, you alluded to The Departed. Well, The Departed, of course, was written by a Boston screenwriter. There are a lot of successful actors and producers and directors working in Los Angeles. As a matter of fact, I spoke today with one of Whitey Bulger's right-hand men, a notorious drug dealer named Red Shea. Red Shea is the author of a book about his time as a Whitey Bulger soldier, and he said, Michele, 3 weeks ago I was working on my screenplay in an apartment 3 blocks from where Whitey Bulger was found, and he said, I wish I had had an opportunity to find him myself. And of course, you know, he quickly assured me he'd only be making a citizen's arrest, of course.
Michele McPhee, thanks very much indeed for joining us.